You know, I'm really tired of people blaming the hood for everything, man. We got to stop this madness, bro. I mean, it seemed like at least one video come out every day, spread out throughout the YouTube streets. One video come out every day by a black content creator blaming black people for why we are all doomed as black people. Blaming the people in the hood, the lowest, the people at the lowest rung on the socioeconomic ladder. We are blaming them for all of our ills collectively as black people under this system. And the last dude to do this was a guy that called himself Aquarius Wave. Aquarius Wave. Now, I was going to actually do his video, break it down, do a reaction, but you know what? I've heard all the lies before, bro. Blaming them is not productive. Blaming them for all of our problems is not helping us solve anything. First of all, we're not even a collective. That's the first myth. We don't operate as a collective. We don't function as a collective. We don't even see ourselves as a collective. We don't do anything as a collective but complain. That's about the only thing we do unified is complain. But let's be clear. I'm from New Orleans, right? I'm from the lower Ninth Ward, New Orleans. People who follow my channel know this. But I live in Dallas. I've been in Dallas since Hurricane Katrina blew me this way, right? And what goes on in New Orleans has no effect on me. I don't even know who the current mayor is of the city, to be honest, bro. What goes on in that city has no effect on me at all. At all. Now, it might affect some of my relatives. It might affect some of my friends that are still down there. You know what I'm saying? But it has no direct effect on me. So when you talk about the bad elements in the hood, they definitely have nothing to do with me. It would be silly for me to sit here and blame street people for anything that's affecting my life directly, because they are not affecting my life directly. And although you could point out a lot of things that they do wrong, you could point out a lot of the things that they do that's not productive for them, that's detrimental even for them, it still has nothing to do with us as a collective. And this scapegoating of the brothers and sisters in those situations is not fair, but it got to stop. A lot of them are born in those situations, bro. That's not situations they chose. These are not suburban people that chose to go live and participate in street life. I know y'all gonna try to find one or two stories that say that happens, you know what I'm saying? But I don't care if you do find one or two stories. Those people, the 99% of them, the majority of them are born and raised in those conditions. These are not conditions that they chose for themselves. This is all they know. And to sit here and kick them while they are down and call that being pro-black, boy, that is a contradiction of some sort that I can't even put a label on. I can't even put a label on. So, I was gonna sit here and go through Aquarius Waves video and pick it apart and all this stuff. But I was like, man, nah, bruh. Nah. Because it's all buster shit, bro. It's all weakness. It's all self-hatred. Why you want to compare yourself to the lowest of black people? I mean, look, something that's understood don't need to be said, but I don't need to constantly compare myself to homeless people. I don't need to constantly compare myself to dudes that are struggling, or dudes that are in the penitentiary, or, people that live in, abject poverty and stuff. Why would I be comparing myself to them for? And why would I blame them for anything that's going on in my life when they're obviously victims of the same system that I'm under? Again, they didn't choose the conditions that they are under. They are born in these conditions, bro. And to sit back and do what y'all doing, man, is evil. And y'all know this stuff can't be debunked, because to create a lie is just much easier than it is to debunk a lie. There is no real way to combat the spread of misinformation. For some reason, y'all want to believe that blaming those at the very bottom in the black community is the way to go. But you're not blaming the people with real influence. You're not blaming the people that actually have our ear, that actually have our attention. the people that we actually listen to. You're not blaming the people that go around through the black community charging $25 to $50 a seat for us to come listen to them lecture us on what we need to be doing. You're not blaming them, because but those are the ones that we actually listen to. We don't actually listen to Pookie. We don't actually listen to Ray Ray or Shaniqua or Shanae. We don't listen to them. We listen to Professor such and such. We listen to Dr. such and such. We listen to Minister such and such. We listen to those people. But we don't listen to Pookie and Ray Ray, Shaniqua and Shanae. We don't listen to them. So since they have no influence over anything affecting us, how can we justify blaming them for our problems? You see, this is a method of doing nothing. This is how you do when you're not really trying to do anything. You blame the wrong party. That way you're not responsible for actually taking any type of action to make changes. You blame the party that have no power. You scapegoat them. You kick them while they're down. But what benefit does it have? Tell me, how does blaming them benefit the so-called black community? How is blaming them going to change gas prices? How is blaming them going to change food prices? How is blaming them going to bring the cost of rent and mortgage down? How is blaming them going to increase the quality of life in America? How is blaming them going to change the education that or the lack thereof in America? How is blaming them going to do anything productive for us? Because see, they're not the ones telling us to do this and that and things will get better. And while we do this and that, things get worse. They're not the ones telling us that. They just trying to survive day by day. They out there just trying to do whatever they can do, man, and get by day by day. You don't want to walk a day in their shoes. You think that, I don't know what you think going on in their world. Them people live in hell, bruh. You should have compassion for them. You should be showing some type of empathy for them, because they live in hell, bruh. Y'all have no idea what it's like to be some of them people, man, in the impoverished situations and conditions that some of them brothers and sisters live in. Yeah, everybody walking around with a smile on their face like everything is A-okay. But you know them people ain't A-okay, bro. You know they not A-okay. And their priorities for the most part is different too. That's another thing you gotta look at. A lot of times they just trying to survive, man. They ain't trying to be like y'all. They ain't trying to get in. They ain't trying to get a seat at the table with Whitey. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to survive, but day by day, you know what I'm saying? Their priorities are also different. So they live differently. But man, they are still living as a consequence of conditions that they did not create for themselves. Even if their own actions exacerbate their own demise, they still did not create the conditions. The conditions are created already, and they are born and raised within those conditions. If you was in those conditions, you would be surprised what you would be willing to do, you know what I'm saying, under those conditions. Come on, man. We got to stop this, bro. And I'm telling you, bro, every day a video come out on one of these black YouTube channels that gets tens of thousands of views, tens of thousands of likes and comments and all that stuff, berating the black people at the very bottom of the socioeconomic ladder. How can you justify that in the name of being pro-black? Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. Salam.